So at the end of the day, do you totally disregard them, or do you actually recommend them in some scenarios still?
The second, definitely. Breakup emails have a time and a place, but they definitely don't belong in every sequence. If the prospect has never interacted with your emails, sending them a breakup email could potentially help your rep save some time if there isn't a use case or any interest from that prospect. As far as breakup emails, remind them what issues your solution helps with. Don't be pushy, and then kind of treat it as a win-win situation. So as long as you give me a response here, you say you're not interested, I maybe try to handle an objection or two, I'll let it go because clearly there's no interest in this outreach. So also making it clear to them that this is the last time you'll be contacting them and kind of leaving the ball in their court. So if your reps truly aren't going to reach out to this prospect for a while, it could potentially help them save time in the long run. So to answer your question, I do recommend breakup emails in certain situations, but I do think there's a right and a wrong way to do that. So just making it very clear, you're not being pushy. It's totally fine if you're not interested. Just trying to elicit a response so that your reps aren't spending time on, prospects that aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, another thought that I would have to sort of tack on there, and this is, I think, why it's really important to establish your content supply chain and sort of your what your life cycle is going to be for prospecting before you start creating a content strategy is, you don't want to lie in an email. And one of the things we've come across with teams is we've said, okay, you have a breakup email here that says, this is the last time I'll be reaching out. But then you're instructing your SDR team 2 weeks later to just put them in sort of a next sequence. And so I think, one of the kind of default breakup emails that we recommend is saying something like, hey, it's clear that right now isn't the best time. I'll leave the ball in your court for now, but looking forward to picking up a conversation in the future, rather than I think a more 2 or 3 years ago, I think I saw a lot of emails that were like, hey, are you under a rock? Or what's going on? I'm really worried about you. And I think those were kind of fun, the first time you got them. And then after a while, it started to have the opposite effect where someone's like, okay, unsubscribe. Or, if you tell someone hey, this is the last time I'll contact you, and then they hear from you in a couple weeks, that doesn't really make sense to them. So I think just making sure that whatever you say in that sort of final email of the sequence, it aligns with what you're instructing your teams to do. I think that's super, super important, just to make sure those are aligned.